Peace and blessings, y'all, on this corner boxing 24. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this side. As always, God is great. God is good, and I can't complain. All right? So, let's talk about Jerron Boots Ennis and what's the latest for him and what he has to do and what he's being made to do just to get a title shot, right? I tell you, man, boxing has become so political, man, that, fighters got to go through a rough time just to get a title shot, man, just to get recognized, So we know that Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence is not going to fight this year, and we don't even know if they're going to fight next year. We know Terrence Bud Crawford is fighting this weekend, the 10th, against David Avanesian in his hometown, Oklahoma. And Errol Spence is slated to fight Keith Thurman in February or sometime next year. We don't know the exact date, right? So Boots was the IBF #1 contender for the fight against Errol Spence. So his father and his team had to petition the IBF to get this fight. So now, the closest he can get to that is fighting for an interim belt, an interim title, against a #4 ranked fighter in the IBF by the name of Karen Chukhadzhian. I might not be pronouncing the last name right, okay, but at least I'm giving it a shot instead of just saying his first name. His first name is Karen. I think it's Chukhadzhian, all right? I could be wrong, but he's from the Ukraine, and he's 21 wins and 1 loss, 11 KOs, all right? That's his record. So this is who Boots is going to fight, and then it puts him in a position to winning this fight, puts him in a position that Errol Spence has to fight him for the IBF or he has to move up. I believe he either has to move up or vacate that belt. Okay, he can't get away from it now. So sooner or later, you're going to have to fight Errol Spence. Okay? And he has a better chance of fighting Errol Spence than Bud Crawford because Bud Crawford is WBO. And I think Virgil Ortiz is the #1 contender in the WBO. So that's why Boots has a better chance in the IBF. Now, we don't know what these guys is going to do. And then I think that Errol Spence has 120 days, according to what I just heard Bozy Ennis say. He has 120 days to make his decision on what he's going to do, right? But it's also been said that if Stanley Ennis and Virgil Ortiz fight, if that fight does happen, it's going to a purse bid December 12th and 13th because they couldn't come to an agreement recently. So now if that fight happens, then they are supposed to be able to get first crack at the winner of Spence and Thurman, right? So we got to just really see how this goes. I'm hoping that it goes in a direction for Boots to get that fight. I hope Stanley Ennis and Ortiz don't get the crack before Boots gets it, because once he gets it, then they gotta deal with him. And I just hope politics, man, don't turn it that way. But like Bozy Ennis said as well, 147, 154, 160. If you got a belt, we want to see you. Bottom line, we want to see you, and we're going to see you, Spence, at one of those divisions sooner or later. If you're there, we coming there, and we're going to see you. You just have to see us, man. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm not saying Spence is running. Hey, the way Spence, man, the way he talk, he's a Terminator. So we're not gonna say he's running now, right? But ain't nobody rushing to fight Boots. We do know that, okay? We do know that. Now Boots said that he thought he was gonna fight Stanley Ennis next, and he said, up until some weeks ago, he thought that's what he was fighting, and then it didn't materialize. Okay? And then they made it mandatory for him and Ortiz to fight. And like I said earlier, that's going to a purse bid next week for them to fight. And then I think if they win the purse bid, Stanionis gets a 75-25 split in his favor. Okay? Listen, I mean, if Boots can't get Spence or Crawford, then he got to get the next best thing. Hopefully that's Virgil Ortiz or Stanionis after this. But I hope, man, that he could get Spence. You know, after getting this interim title, puts him in a position. I hope he can, get Spence and he can do what he has to do. Okay? And then he could get his belts, get all them belts at 147 because, you holding up these belts, man. It's like, come on, what you going to do, man? If it's okay to fight Thurman without a belt, then why wasn't it okay to fight Boots without a belt? See how crazy boxing is? Because people kept saying, oh, well, Boots ain't got nothing to offer. Well, what do Thurman got to offer? He don't have a belt. And he coming off a loss and a win. I mean, a loss and a win, right? So, a bad loss to a legend, but a bad loss still. And then a comeback win against a fighter who gets knocked out by a lightweight. Come on, man. But he gets the nod, right? He gets the shake to fight Errol Spence. So that's the way boxing is turning out, man. It's just so political, right? So we just have to see. We just have to be patient. Boots got to be patient. The team, Bozy, I got a lot of love and respect for them. And I know they're going to be patient, but once they bust through the door is they're going to bust through, and it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. Okay? Philly boxing, stand up. I always like Philly. The best fighters come out of Philly, right? Listen, I'm from New York. But Philly has always produced some of the best fighters. Let me say that. New York, Philly, and the Midwest. Okay? They produce the best fighters, man. That's just history. But Philly, I would say consistently, nobody has produced better fighters than Philly on a consistent level. We just have to be real about that. All right? So, it's going to be interesting, man. To see how this goes. And I'm looking forward to it, to the fights. It's a hell of a card, January 7th on that Tank card. You got Boots. You got Demetrius Andre. That's a hell of a card. That's going to be one of the best cards ever. Just them three right there, man. Tank, Boots, and Andre. Boots, Tank, and Andre. However you want, bro. Bro, listen, that's one of the best, and Boots is the co-main event? Come on, man, you can't get no better than that. You ain't gonna never have a card like that. So I gotta give Showtime their props for that, PBC. Yes, they get a lot of props, man, because that's a hell of a card. And to start off the year, January 2023, and listen, I can't wait. All right? So that's all I got right now, y'all. Peace and blessings in this corner, Boxing 24. Please subscribe to the page. Please be safe. Everybody enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.